was doing laundry or perfect. Okay, good. So we're recording. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So now, real quick, just to answer a question that was I thought was really good earlier. When you're using the quote tool, and you got like a $10,000 policy for a 67-year-old male, you're maybe looking at like, oh wow, Americo and Aflac are the lowest cost, and so is Mutual of Omaha. But as you know, getting the Select Plan 1, the Aflac Preferred, or the Living Promise Level, not the graded, are actually pretty difficult to get most people approved for. I would say, in my experience, almost more than half the time, even after asking medications and health questions, etc., I find that my clients don't get what I applied for. And so I always like to maybe look at this as a possibility, but not be like, oh, it's only $60 a month, and then they lock on to $60. And then when you do the app, it jumps to the plan two, which I believe is still day one, but it is not, the price is higher. Same thing with Aflac, then they get standard or modified or something, and then the price jumps way up and they're kind of caught off guard. They were excited and happy about what you could do for them. Same with Mutual of Omaha. If we look at the graded, let's just flip it to graded real quick. And if you go to graded, now you see it jumps to 73, which it's only I say only what, a $10 difference between the other one? Yeah. It's only $10 more, but now you got to explain that it's graded, and they do not charge you as a smoker though. So let's actually flip this to smoker. Watch this. $91, versus you switch it to graded and Mutual of Omaha, it's only 73. Look at that. So this is a little hack, a little cheat code. They don't charge you as a smoker for Mutual of Omaha graded. Now, people get so stuck on 2-year waiting period. I mean, I don't like to say 2-year waiting period, um, because I feel like it's not fully being honest or explaining it properly. I'll say, Miss Jones, you're not going to kick the bucket on us in the next 24 months, are you? No, I know. I sure hope not, or you never know. But I'm not planning on it. And you say, great. Now we obviously hope and knock on wood, nothing's going to happen to you, but we do want to make sure that we get you protected. So if something happens, your family's going to be, taken care of. And then they'll say, yeah, but I don't want to be on a 2-year waiting. And it's like, well, what does that mean to you, Miss Jones? Well, it means that I gotta wait 2 years to get the money if something happens to me, if I pass away. And I'd say you kind of have an idea of it, but it's just a little different. Can I tell you what it really is? And it's like, if God forbid something happens to you in the first 12 months, with graded specifically, not guaranteed issue, you'll get 30% of the entire amount. So you'd get $3,000, much more than what you paid into it, that first year. Now, if we lose you in that second year, you get 70%, which is $7,000. And then they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like, if you make it to the 2-year mark, you're good. Like, you're fully good, but they're still getting more than what you paid in. Now, let's say it's guaranteed issue. It's slightly different. Everything I said is the same, except so imagine it's like a high interest savings account. Every dollar you put in, you're going to get 10% interest. So you can't lose money unless you just stop paying for your policy. If something happens to you in the first 24 months, like you have a heart attack in 6 months, they're going to give you all the money that you paid into it back plus 10% interest on every dollar. Oh, okay. That's not a 2-year waiting period. I don't say that last. I mean, like, if you want to call it a 2-year waiting period, you can, but what does that mean? I would only do that if I knew I could get them something else. Like, I just had a lady who she loves her agent, and she'd rather have a 2-year waiting period on Gerber than have the day one coverage that I can get her with this other carrier. And that's
Okay.
fine. Now, Sue, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Could you please let me know how do you distinguish graded and guaranteed? What's the language there? Please. Thank you.
Graded is like generally it's like a 30/70. That means they get 30% the first year, 70% the second year of what you're applying for. And then guaranteed issue is like 10% interest on all your payments. So if I pay $100 a month for a year, that's $1,200. The company will give you an additional $120 of that's 10% interest. So you'd get 1340 back instead of the 1200 you paid. Which means you made 10% on your money if you pass away after 12 months. So it works that way for 24 months with guaranteed issue. With graded, it's you get 30% the first year, 70% the second year. Not every company's the same, but generally that is the way that graded would work. So
Wow.
Mutual of Omaha does not charge you as a smoker on their graded policy, and that's what most people get approved for is graded with Mutual of Omaha. With guaranteed issue, obviously anyone who has a pulse and can speak and sign an application can get guaranteed issue no matter what, basically. I mean, 99% of it, unless they're mute and you can't talk to them. But even then, I've sold a policy to someone who was deaf. No, they had to do sign language. So yeah, they were deaf and they were talking with me on the phone with a sign language interpreter and they still have their policy and I got them a good policy.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, good. So the topic of the day. So give me 2 minutes. I'll give you my 2 minute intro. So I answered a question at the beginning of this call that I thought was useful, and now we're just getting into handling that I already have coverage. And so that's why probably my favorite objection because if you can get that person to talk to you, they're a better client than someone who doesn't have coverage. Why? Because they already kind of are comfortable with this. They're bought in on the idea of this. They recently a question that was asked by a veteran was, how do I follow up with my existing clients and get referrals, or how do I follow up um, and get, how do I work my book of business? What's the system? How do I do that? Well, I think a lot of people don't know, including people that are veterans. They don't really know how to work their book of business. I only say that because they've openly said so in other meetings that we have that are exclusive. And, maybe they qualified to be in a certain group. They would ask the question, how do I work my book of business? What's the system? Well, you really need to make a relationship with your client because if you don't, you're not going to have them for forever and you're not going to have them for maybe more than a year. And I'm saying that more than half the time, that's probably the case. Some people are just going to keep their policy no matter what, unless you give them a reason not to. But there are going to be a number of people who, if you don't maintain some sort of relationship with them and provide service, um, they'll fall off and you'll lose the renewals and the opportunity to get a second and third policy in the future. But that doesn't mean you can't call your lapsed and canceled clients and still get them back on the books or even get a referral from them and help someone that they know. I'm just giving you this as a bonus because if you've sold for more than 3 months and you're not calling your clients that you've already sold, you are over a course of 3 years leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. And so if you're nearby your computer and you're making calls, good for you. You should do that, and you should definitely turn down the volume all the way and not listen to anything. But if you can hear my voice right now, then I would listen because I wish I would have been told this when I first started, but no one taught me this, and it actually cost me a lot of money. So you want to follow up with your clients, and here's what you do at the when you're getting the beneficiaries for every policy that you do, you need to get their phone numbers. I need the phone number for emergency purposes. This is for your safety and your security. Now, I only contact them if you give me permission to do so. This is for emergencies, Miss Jones. So get the phone numbers of every beneficiary every time without exception. At least get one phone number of one beneficiary minimum. But If you can get everyone that's a beneficiary plus additional family members, this is um, a referral, right? It's a referral whether they know it or not. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to deceive or manipulate in any way. That's not what I am suggesting. I'm suggesting that if I can't reach the person for some reason, I am going to use their emergency contact. If their number gets disconnected, if I can't reach them and I've tried many times, I'm going to call one of their beneficiaries if I need to. Meaning, like, if there's a problem that I need to fix. I've had sons or daughters be like, "Oh my goodness, my mom's policy is about to lapse. Here's my card. Let me help make a payment on it." Like that kind of stuff. I didn't even know she had a coverage. Like, why, but there's another way. I can talk all day about this, but I'll try to be brief. Another thing that you can do that you should do is you should take the person and say, "Do you want your daughter to know about this?" No, I had a guy, I sold him today, third policy. He said, "I don't want them to know right now. I want this to be a surprise." I said, "That's fine, but just make sure they know where you keep your important papers." He's like, "I've got a safe. I'll make sure they have access to it." I'm like, "Perfect. I liked it. I like that. I wish more people were thinking like that." I spent $9.95 and I mailed him a packet with my business card, with my fridge magnet, with the frequently asked questions, a final wishes planning guide. I said, I'll spend the money to send this to you if you'll do me one favor. And he said, "What's that?" "You have to fill it out. And can you do that for me?" I said that to him. "Can you do that for me?" "Yes. Actually, if I have questions, can I call you about it?" I said, "I would prefer that when you have a question, you do call me." So that's the kind of delivery and service that I'm doing, right? It's easier to sell policies when you deliver that level of service because you're convicted, you're committed to what you're doing. I was listening to a video the other day by Grant Cardone, and he said that he got really good at selling cars, and he hated selling cars for the first 2 years. But the reason that he hated it was because he wasn't good at it. He said, "I wasn't good at it because I wasn't committed. And when I wasn't committed, I wasn't creative. Because I wasn't creative, I was average. I was below average, right? So creativity follows committed. I'm sorry, being committed, right? Creativity follows commitment. So the more committed you are, the more creative you'll be, the better you'll be at what you do. I would like to sit here and tell you that you don't have to make $500 a day when you start out, but unfortunately, I got to where I am, and I say where I am, not that I'm like, you know, I like where I am now in the business versus where I was in year one. Year one was very grindy. It was harder than year two. Every year after year one did get a little easier. But there's two problems with that. Number one is, well, I just want to fast forward to the 3 years from now. The other problem is that when you do get 3 years from now, you got to keep the same thing you had back in those first 2, 3 years. Because if you don't, then you'll not really benefit as much as you can from where you got yourself. You know what I mean? So if you can work as hard as you do year one and year two and three, you'll have a like a Cedric Cooper or Stephanie. I don't know her last name, but Stephanie, the one that's always on the leaderboard at the top five. Those individuals are maintaining that year one attitude of, "I have no other option. My family's livelihood depends upon this and my future existence of my entire family." When you have that kind of purpose, it really does make you work hard. So I gave you all that stuff, and it's not really part of the main topic today for the training, but I just wanted to say, after you sell the policy, by the way, say, "Hey, I'm going to give you a call in a week," and you probably won't have your policy by then, but I do want to call you and just check if it got there early. Set the expectation that it takes 3 weeks for the policy to arrive. You can use mailmyfinalexpenseclient.com in order to send like a little pre-approval packet, like a packet. Most of our carriers do give us the same day approval. So, and a policy number. So you can send them for $10. You can send them that with a fridge magnet, with your business card. Mine actually has a picture of my And they told me to do this. They said, put a picture of you and your family, and then a description about you. So, I mean, I'm blessed enough to have a beautiful wife and baby. And so, um, their picture is there. My picture's on the business card with my number. Their picture is there with the description about me, like this is Griffin and he has his wife and his baby and da 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 da. And it just gives a little thing about me and it tells all the states I'm licensed in, which for me it's 43. It's a lot of money, that's a lot of money. Um, and then if you don't maintain it, they charge you a penalty. Like if you don't renew it, they charge you like a late fee. So it's kind of rough. And I used to do Medicare as well, so it's important to me to renew those states. Anyway, I know you didn't ask for all this stuff, but so you set an appointment for 1 week and then do another one for maybe the third week, right? And then when you do so, if you didn't get the phone number of the emergency contacts, it's another opportunity to do so. So you say, Miss Jones, I've got your beneficiary listed as Timothy, Smith. Is that correct? Did I spell his name right? Oh, I didn't look, but I'll check it out and let you know. Good. Will you just text me and let me know if I spelled it properly? I mean, it's a pretty easy name, but there are going to be more complicated names out there. Like you've probably all seen some pretty funny or interesting names. Um, People misspell my name, and my name's pretty traditional, but it's not a first name. It's usually a last name. So you never know what you're going to run into. But checking over that stuff, just wanted to make sure you got your policy. I haven't got it yet. Um, I didn't stop doing Medicare, by the way. I just don't broadcast it because I didn't do Medicare until after I'd been doing final expense for about 3 years. Um, Somebody I used to work with kind of taught me that I could cross sell, and he was correct. And I did learn how to cross sell from that person, and it was a way to make extra money. So after you've been doing this for a few years and you're really good and you're a master, maybe you should get, Medicare. But I really don't like doing Medicare. It is kind of a headache. Um, it's gotten worse and worse for the agent over the years. So I don't really enjoy it. I only do it for my existing customers, if they need me or want me to look at it, I will as a service. It's actually just a service point. It's just a service point. I do it more for service. And I do get paid for that service, but sometimes that's a headache. It's really a headache. And it requires maintenance. Um, so anyway, it's not really something to talk about right now. Um, the other thing I wanted to tell you was just that follow up with your client on their birthday, follow up with your client on their 1 year policy anniversary day. Follow up with them every 6 months at least. We could do it once every three, but I'd probably recommend once every 6 months, 3 to 6 months. Um, and I try to keep it, I don't try to, talk their ear off unless we're really close. Because some clients, you're closer with than others. Not everybody's going to want to talk to you for more than 5 minutes, but some people won't want to get you off the phone. Like they'll stay on the phone with you as long as you'll let them stay on the phone with you. So you have to guard your time a little bit, but hey, those relationships really do mean a lot. You should send them a thank you card or some sort of card. Now, look, this is not a way to get out of the follow up. The thank you card does have value. The thank you card really does have value. It is not an end all be all. That doesn't mean you just send a thank you card and never talk to the client again, because that would be a violation of the proper way to follow up with the client. The best book that you could listen to right now, or listen to or read, would be if you're not first, you're last. If you're not first, you're last. A lot of people think about Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights, but that's not what it's about. It's about being first in your client's mind and last in your client's mind. How many times have you called one of your clients at some point or talked to them and found out that they just bought a $15,000 policy on top of the policy that you sold them in the past? And now they have two policies, one with one agent and one with you. I've had it happen to me quite a bit. So, um, again, the purpose of this call, we were supposed to go over, I, well, let me see. Isn't it, I already have coverage? right? That's the theme. So the best the best clients are the ones that already have coverage, right? And that's proof. I'm proof of that because I've had multiple policies, and many of my clients, very few of my clients only have one policy. And that's a lot of it's because of me. How many times have you been on the phone with a client and they said, "Can I get more later? Can I upgrade this later? Can I add on to this?" Well, you better make sure you put down on your notes, "Hey, they asked me if they could add on to this. Hey, let's call back later. We'll get my husband signed up." There's just so much opportunity getting the emergency contact phone numbers. I did not do that day one. Mistake. Mistake. Just make it a part of your presentation. Make it a part of your application. Okay, great. So now moving on. I've already got coverage. Let's role play right now. Jeremy, I think he left. Jeremy's gone. Oh man. Okay. No, you're there, Jeremy, but you're muted. Okay, I see you now. All right. Well, Colt, do you want to hit me? Have you been hearing that objection?
Yeah. Yep.
How about you be a customer,
Okay.
and then when do you usually hear it? In the very beginning?
Yes.
Okay, let's work on that. So I'm gonna call you. Um, what am I looking at? If I'm looking at a lead card, who do you want to be? Tell me what you are, so I can call that person.
Uh, 62-year-old male.
All right. Is that all you have to work with?
No, I mean, I typically have a beneficiary.
Okay. Like it'll say like what does it usually say like child or
Yeah, like
spouse?
spouse, with their
Okay.
name, and then
Oh, with their name, that's good. See, having their name is a big deal. That's important.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Okay, here we go. So ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Colt.
Yeah.
Hey, this is just Griffin. I don't know if you could help me out or not, but I was looking at a piece of paper here that says you might have been curious to see what your options were recently to protect your wife, Sarah.
Uh,
Ring a
yeah. I
bell?
already got that taken care of.
That's awesome, man. Was that one of the new programs or old programs?
What do you mean new program?
Like you got this like yesterday, or you've had it for years?
Oh no, I mean, I filled that out about 3 months ago.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, would it be a terrible idea if we just took a look and made sure that you had the best deal you could get? Because my clients live on a really fixed income.
No, I'm okay.
I understand, but this was recently. I got this recently, and I have 15 carriers. You probably get a lot of phone calls, right?
Yeah.
If I was you, I wouldn't want to talk to anyone else like me. And I
The
don't, I don't blame you for wanting to not wanting to talk to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've been doing this for 10 years, Colt. Can you just give me 2 minutes?
I don't know how I could say. I don't know how I could say no to that.
It's just like, you know, if y'all haven't been doing this for 10 years, that's not going to work for you, maybe, right? But you could say, hey, I helped, like, okay, Jessica, how many people have you helped in the last 8 months get a policy? Do you have any idea?
I mean, helped probably 60 or 70,
That's perfect. Okay, look,
but
we'll
they
hold,
not all of them captive.
that's fine. So in the last 6 months, or 8 months or whatever, I've helped 70 people do exactly what we're talking about. I've got 15 different options and I got them right here on the table. And I only really work with people that are on a fixed income, like Social Security, disability, and even our disabled vets. These are not your real big expensive type of plans, but they are small, affordable, permanent, and they don't change on you later. Is that what you're looking for? And I say all those lines, they're part of like my what is this? What is this about? This is small, affordable, it's permanent. What is it? This is for final expenses, whole life, burial, cremation, money for your kids. Because I've had people that, they said, I don't need burial, I'm doing cremation. Click. And I'm like, it's all the same thing. Like I shot myself in the foot. So I used to make videos saying, don't shoot yourself in the foot. What is this? This is It's a lot to say, but listen, man, you got to talk to people like they're in the third grade. I like people explain to me stuff like I'm in third grade. It's not insulting anyone's intelligence. You're not here trying to buy a cash dividend whole life policy that you can borrow money out and go buy an investment property on. You can get that type of insurance, but that's not what this is. So unless you're that guy who's got $500,000 in assets, that's like, yeah, I got two rental properties over here and they're cash flowing $3,000 a month and they're already paid off. So now I just got to replace the hot water heat. Like that guy, not going to be buying most of the time, not going to be buying this policy unless he just has some extra money that he's willing to throw into a tax-free policy that will pay out to his kids within 48 hours. That's the conversation I would try to have with that guy. Hey, man, if I was you, I probably wouldn't be looking at this. However, you know what I do like about these policies? They are tax-free. That means the government, they can't touch it. Your kids get the whole thing. It means that it pays out quick. It's hassle-free. Some people have gotten a check in their hands before they could even find their parents' policy. That's true. American Amicable is really good with the claims process, particularly any carrier when they've had it for more than 2 years. They just need to write the check. They get the death certificate, they write the check. American Amicable is probably the best about that. Their renewals are the best. So you asked me earlier, somebody said, Colt said, what carriers? I like that one. I had a guy, can you mail me a new policy? Well, instead of sending an email and waiting for a week, I can go on Instant Messenger and just message. I don't know if y'all know that, but you can go on there and instant message the back office, any department, and then you can email yourself a transcription of the conversation so you have a record, a written record of what happened. So that's a benefit, just some benefits to. So I've already got coverage, right? So, not everyone you can't win every battle, right? Can't win every battle, but you can give yourself the best fighting chance by having some ammunition, right? Good.
What
So who
did
else? You go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, real quick. You said is that the new plan or what?
Yeah, yeah, you got a plan. Is that one of the new programs or old
New
programs?
program.
One of the new program, I just throw that in there. It just works, man. Like, is that one of the new programs or old programs? They're like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, well, you've had that for years, haven't you? Yeah. I'm like, well, this request was recently. Do you remember recently being curious until you got antagonized to death by everybody that was calling you?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian. I saw your hand up. I don't know if you still wanted to chime in. You're
Sorry, I
muted.
didn't mean to raise it. I was just typing in the chat. It's a pattern interrupt that works very well.
Yes. See, these people, when you walk into a store and someone says, can I help you find something? What do you say? Just looking, right? I'm just looking, right? So that's just it's called it's an automatic thing that people do, right? It's just an automaticity that seemingly the entire human race has. I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed it. I don't know anyone who's impervious, like they're not impervious to it. Everyone's got that, right? Even when they really do look at something. I used to work at a jean store. It's kind of funny. I was 22. I worked in the mall. I sold jeans. And this guy walks in and he's looking at the skinny jeans section and he already told me he was just looking. I said, "Hey man, I know you're just looking, but you don't seem like the type of guy who wants the jean to strangle his legs." And he said, "No, I don't." I said, "Well, you're in the skinny jean section. Do you want me to show you where the ones you want are?" And he was like, "Because I made commission. So if he was my customer and he said, 'Who helped you?' and he said my name, I got the commission for everything he bought." So I didn't want to bug people and be annoying, but I also wanted to get the commission because I only made $5 an hour, and the commission was where we made most of our money. So I had to figure out what to do. So anybody else want to throw something at me? It doesn't have to be, I already have coverage, but it can be. So I'm willing to hear anything. I don't really have much else to say. I said it all.
I've been with opening objections, I've gotten pretty quick with the response, but something I'm struggling with, I think, is still believing in my mind that they actually do have to go and not like acknowledging that it probably is just a smoke screen.
Yeah. How many people have a CRM? That's another thing. That's a good one. And hold that thought for just a second, because this is going to get to your question. How many people have a CRM by show of hands? So good. I mean, some of you have a CRM and you don't have to have one. The reason why I'm asking is because somebody said, "What's a system?" The other day you were on a call, Jessica, where a lady asked, "Is there a system that you can use to follow up with people?" I went back and listened to that call that we were on with David. I have it. I have the file and I've been reviewing it and I haven't made it all the way through yet, but I was making notes on some questions that people asked. And sometimes you get an answer from somebody who hasn't sold a policy in 6 years. And so you need to get maybe some data that their data is good. David knows what he's talking about 100%. But I don't know the last time he sold like 5 policies in a week. So, if I'm selling 5, 10 policies in a week, then maybe, there might be something I could share to add on to what was spoken about. And the system would be your CRM and just going in there and being like, call Betty in a week from now. And that's going to go into my calendar just by clicking those buttons. That's $100 a month for David's Go High Level called Thor, right? And it's got texting and calling and some pretty cool stuff. But you do not have to have it in order to do well. You can use a spreadsheet and a cell phone. Okay. Your question was, believing, right? So the reason why I ask is I'm wearing this Tonka truck headset right now, and it's very large and unattractive, but it does the job. It I can hear everything crystal clear, and you can hear me probably crystal clear. The purpose of that is I can hear in the background what's going on. So if I hear the beep, beep, like a Target or Walmart, they're checking out, I can hear that. Mom, who are you talking to on the phone? Or you don't need no more insurance. You've already got insurance. I'd say, who's that? That's my son, Tim. Put me on speaker. I want to talk to Tim. Hey, Tim, this is Griffin. Did you know your mom was trying to leave you some more life insurance? She's already got life insurance. I totally understand, but it looks like she still cared enough about you for some reason that she just wanted to leave you a little bit more. You have a problem with that? Well, if he's taking money from her on a weekly basis, like an allowance, like he did in high school, he probably has a problem with it. Because if she gets another policy, she won't have any money to give him while he's alive. Yeah, you got to see this is stuff that people don't talk about on trainings, or any. I never hear people talk about this, but it happens every day. You need to hear what's going on. It's kind of hard to do that when you're just holding the phone right here. So if you got a little money, and you're not wasting your money at restaurants and bar tabs and stuff like that, go spend some money on, if you're spending all that money on leads, because you are, I respect that. This was an investment to me. This is wired for a reason. I don't really care about what people think about me having this, because I promise you, I don't need to talk about, credentials, but it's like, how seriously do you take your job? My computer is hardwired. So I got a 1G speed. I could do a speed test right now and it'd blow you away. Its upload speed is like 384 megabits per second. That's crazy. Um, the download and the upload is insane. And so I don't have connection problems when I talk to people on the phone. If they have a problem, I can't hear you. You're breaking up. I'm like, where are you at in your house? You need to get to a better spot. I'm at my desk. Where are you? Oh, so if there's a reception problem, it's not me. I know that it's them. We have fiber optic cable in ground. You know, I know in rural areas you don't have that, so it's harder to get that, but get the best you can. Write it off on your taxes. I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving you tax advice. Talk to your CPA. Um, but this office, this room that I'm in, tax deductible. So I don't know if I answered your question or not. But yeah, I listen to what's going on. And if I know that they're not, like, I had a guy, dude, he said he was at the doctor's office. I did not believe him. We spoke for about 5 minutes. I kept him on the phone, kept him on the phone. 5, 6 times he said, "Man, if we could just talk tomorrow, that'd be good." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, but I don't even really know if it'd be worth talking to you tomorrow, to be honest. Like, I'd like to talk to you again, but we may not have to." No, no, yeah, okay, well, what is it? And da da da. And yeah, but if you could just call me tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning. He said like 6 times. I'm like, all right, let's just talk another time. Like let me just let this dude go. And fine, fine. I let him go. Um, but he told me like 6 times after about 5, 6 minutes on the phone. So I didn't surrender too quickly. Um, he didn't get mad at me, I could have pushed him further. So there's not like always a singular correct answer to that, Jessica. But does that actually help genuinely? Like, yes or no? Because if it's not, I'll give you more.
It does help because I know a lot of the times they are lying.
Yeah, it's true.
But even when they have other opening objections, like I already took care of it. That's what the whole training is about. Can't afford it, not interested, whatever. Um,
Yeah,
I guess in my mind, I want to believe them and I know the words to say.
yeah.
But then after we get past that, and sometimes I do keep them on the phone for a few minutes, but
Mhm.
it's getting a whole presentation in after they give me one of those opening objections.
Well, there you go. Yeah, getting one in, I understand what you're saying. You want to get that full presentation in regardless, right? Okay, so let me ask you this though. This is going to answer your question potentially. Do you ever get calls that you don't want on your phone?
Yes. Not
Okay.
often though.
Okay. When you get those calls, what do you tell people?
Usually it's about recruiting me to their insurance team, and I'm just like, no, I'm good, thanks, and I hang up.
Okay. Yeah, you know what I do? Because I'm pretty similar. I'm glad that you're at least telling them something to say, because I've never liked to do to other people what I don't like done to me. I do have a button, like a pet peeve, if you will, on uh, people saying I'm good. I personally this is my opinion. It's nothing against you. I don't like it. I don't like being told that. I don't like saying that to people. I feel like it's disrespectful. That's me personally. That's how I feel. Now, that's just my opinion. I never have liked hearing it. I've never liked, and so therefore I don't say it. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. But a lot of people don't use this one. Don't do to other people's what you wouldn't want done to you. You see? People don't usually use that golden rule part. So if you're hearing a lot of things in terms of objections or this or that, it's possible that you could be giving those same objections to other people. I
That's
don't know.
true. Usually, whenever I do say like no thank you or whatever, they don't try to fight the objection. And I have noticed that.
Yeah, and that's their loss in terms of like the opportunities that could be available. You may not be one, and you're probably not, most likely 99.9% chance you'll just stay here until you don't sell life insurance anymore, maybe when you're 80 or something, who knows. But the situation is that, I would say thank you. I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. Please put me on your do not call list. Keep doing a great job. Keep going. Don't give up. I'll give them that. These guys are getting abused. Us salespeople are getting abused, just like the clients are. So try to treat people the way you'd want to be treated. Don't treat others the way you wouldn't want to be treated, right? So if that's the case, then I'm just like, listen, I am not a prospect in any way. I'm very happy with where I'm at. Put me on your do not call list, please, and thank you, sir. And that's about as nice as I think I could put it. It's nothing against you. It's nothing personal. Just put me on your do not call list. All right. And I do that because I want to get calls that I want to get, not calls that I don't want to get, right? I don't want to be getting recruited for other agencies because I'm not going to leave. So, yeah. And so if someone said that to me as a customer, I would just put them on the do not call list. And that gets me closer to my next yes. So let's see. Hold on. I just want to see. We got a good crowd here. All right, let's get some more people involved. Anything
That was
else?
helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, if you have anything else, feel free to chime in. But anyone else would like to contribute, question, comment, concern?
Hey Griffin,
Yeah.
I do. So it's weird how like it's kind of like they go in waves. Like I'll get like one week it's like usually always it'll be the same objection or something. The past 2 weeks I've went through the banking. Now this week I'm getting clearly they're totally denying filling out anything and they're angry that I've called them.
Yeah.
And then they're hanging up before I even get a chance to do anything else. How do you usually respond to people who are totally denying that and
Yeah,
are
no, I
are they
look, you probably are just honestly what I would do. This is totally unorthodox. Crystal, you sound like you're just absolutely being harassed and that we should press charges against these people that are calling you.
oh my God.
What do you think? We should do something about these people, these telemarketers that are calling you, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Now, do you remember being curious, Crystal, just to see what your options were to protect your family? If you're anything like me, you might have filled out a form on Facebook and regretted it, and just your life was miserable because of the amount of calls you got because of it. I hate that I even had to call, to be honest with you, but I didn't know of another way that I could really hear your voice or talk to you for just a second to see if it could potentially be worth just taking a look, you know? Do you already have something specifically in place to leave to your daughter, Sarah? It's hard for people to lie on that one. You're
Yeah.
basically denying your daughter if you say that you don't know. If you lie to me, you're kind of like harming your family at that point, right? So I'm just like, do you have something specifically in place to leave to your daughter, Sarah? Yes or no? Yes, I do. Okay, great. Were you trying to save money, add to what you have, or were you looking for somebody else or something else?
Mhm.
Oh, I was just trying to see, but no, I'm dead. It's okay. I understand. Do you just want to know what your options are to leave a little bit extra to your family? I do, but was it just too expensive? Is that why you're telling me that? Is that why you're trying to jump off the phone with me? It's just too expensive? Now, this is me trying to save the hang up.
Right.
You know they're about to hang up on you. This is but before you leave my store, do you just want to just at least try the jeans on and make sure they're the softest jeans? Like, like here, touch this jean. Just feel, here, grab it. Take.
I'm gonna try what you just said about the harassing and arrest them. I surely will if they don't hang up on me
We
first.
we should probably press charges. I'll say something really bold because they're about to hang up anyway. And if you don't exercise that muscle, what's going to happen? We know that it's going to get weak. Now that I have this baby, I've been bending. I was a power lifter, a track. I went to state in powerlifting, track. We nearly went to state championship in football. I played football for a decade in college, MMA. I'm 34 years old, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, and I can bench press, nearly 300 pounds. And I pick up my daughter off the ground and oh, my back. Like it just she's 20 pounds, 25 pounds, just pick her up, but I was bending at the waist instead of squatting like you're supposed to. And we've all been told you shouldn't bend, you should squat, right? To pick stuff up. Well, after doing it hundreds of times, I finally just went, bam, oh man, I've been sore for a week. Like just my lower back seized up and was so excruciatingly painful that I couldn't even walk right. And that happened recently. So I'm a little out of shape. I'm, you know, not doing the proper technique. So what did I do? I hurt myself. And it's like that with calls. It's like that with, you know, I am not too good to role play. I'm not too cocky to read a script. So I had a guy who was like, yeah, I don't really keep the script by me. I was like, dude, I could read every word off of that script verbatim without looking at it, and you can sit here and test me, and I still have that script next to me because I don't want to leave out a paragraph because that can happen because they're going to throw you around a little bit on the call, but you still need to cover the fact that now listen, most people that I talk to, they're wanting to do one of three things when they get life insurance for somebody. They're wanting to, you know, cover their final expenses so they don't leave a burden on their kids. They want to just simply pay for a burial, or they have a church or a charity that's important that they want to make sure this money goes to. Which one is it for you? Well, since I've got my burial covered, this is just extra money for my kids because I love them and I just feel like I need to leave something to them. I don't want to leave them with nothing. If you don't, that's just a part of the script. If you don't do that on the call, then you're kind of missing out, right? So, but if you don't, you get weak, right? We get weaker if we don't train and practice, and you can't just clean your house once and call it good, right? So it's kind of like that on everything. All right. It sounds like you're getting a lot bombarded with calls. I can show you how to adjust your settings to keep a lot of the people from coming through. Yeah, you could absolutely educate them on that on some things. What I generally do is I get the sale, but I do offer help. So I'm like, hey, look, I could do some things for you that would help you get less harassment. It's vital that you save my number, but and then I go on with my thing. And then later on, I'm like, did you still need some help with getting a lot of callers, coming in? Now, I need to make sure that my number is programmed in your phone. Is it saved? Please confirm. Yes, it's saved. Okay, great. Now, and then you can maybe show them or help them or whatever.
I'll say I've never had anyone remember to take me up on it, but I have used that at the beginning of the call. And I'll just say it as like, oh my gosh, it sounds like you've been getting bombarded. I can show you how to adjust your settings so some of those calls get screened when we're done talking. And it just makes them feel like I'm on their side.
Yes, that's perfect.
And then, but they never remember to do it. We never
It's
actually
true.
do it, or I never show
It,
them because they don't ask, but it just gets me on their side of like, I'm with you. I hate that you're getting calls.
yeah, you're absolutely correct. And it would be worth maybe just saying, hey, Betty, did you still want me to help you out with that now that
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
gotten
yeah.
you your policy? And then also making sure that your number's saved because there's been times where I needed to reach somebody, and they already had it set up originally, maybe where it was hard to get through. And then I'm like, man, I can't get them on the phone. Like it's tough. I
And
don't
an
think they even know
easy
it's me.
one tip on that is if sell both Android and iPhones, you send them, go to your contact in contacts and send them your contact card and say, did you get the contact card? Click that, scroll to the bottom and hit add to contacts. So you don't have to manually put my first and last name in. And so I'm saved in everyone's thing as your insurance agent, Ava Yasmine.
Perfect.
And they don't have to write anything. All they have to do is click on your little box in their text message chain and click add to contacts, and boom, all of your info is saved in their phone. So
I love that. Yeah, that we need to do that. See, you just helped me just now because I haven't been strong enough at getting my number saved in their phone that way. So that would be better, especially for those Android users, because I have an iPhone and it's
it
difficult.
works both ways from an iPhone to an Android, sending that contact card.
Ooh,
It's almost identical process.
that's good. That's good. That's why we train, right? We're learning some new techniques. We're doing like the jumper. This is the outside corner jump shot that I've been neglecting that Ava just helped me with. So yeah, that's good. Well, good meeting everybody. I'll just do some final questions before we go if anybody wants. If anybody wants. Back it.
I
Mail
can
my
put in the
final expense.
messages a screenshot of what it looks like because I literally just sent somebody one.
Oh, cool. That'd be great. By the way, the website, it's just a free, it's not free. Mail my final expense client.com. This is just a way, I mean, I think until David makes one of these, I'm going to use it because they're a third party service that I had a client take a picture of what I got him in the mail because he has a P.O. box. He lives in the middle of nowhere. And he's a really good client. He has like 3 policies with me, and he's kept them all he's been with me since 2021. So look, this is what he got. It's gonna be hard to see, man. It's hard to see because it's like when I get closer, it wants to see. I'm trying to show you, but look, that's like gold. It's like a golden envelope. It's gold, and it's got like a yellow sticker. It's like important, your insurance information. And then it's got that final wishes guide. It's got my picture. It's got a fridge magnet, you know.
Did you have to create the business card or the magnet, or did they create them
Uh,
at my final expense?
they
Which
basically
one that
have a
one?
template. You just like upload a picture. I have like a logo that I use for me, just for my name. And then I got my picture. And then you just have to give them some basic info, and then they save it, and then it's there every time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool actually. Yeah. But yeah, man, check it out. I don't make any money off of referring anybody to it, but it retains your business, and it actually gives you opportunity. Guys, this is going to sound a little, this is just the way things are, and then it's kind of sad, but I I actually make money when people pass away from their family who's talking to me about the claim for that person. I do it in a respectful and professional way, but it does, it does get a little heavy. It gets a little sensitive sometimes, but like they trust me because they know, wow, my mom did get insurance and it was with you and you did what you said you would do. You're obviously a real agent. Oh, wow, I got the money. Oh my goodness, I need to do this for my kids, just like my mom did for me. Like that kind of stuff is real. And if I can't tell you, it's been multiple times that on the same call that they were calling me to do a claim, I got them another policy. I got the beneficiary protected. So I'm just telling you about opportunities that will exist for you in the future. The older, like Coca-Cola, they don't have a problem selling their drinks. Why do I have a problem? It's just time, it's effort, it's marketing. It's when you have 3,000 people that know who you are, that you sell life insurance to, that's going to really benefit you down the road. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ava, for putting that. And everyone in the comments, check that out from Ava, where you can share your contact with anybody, regardless of their type of phone. It's really good. You can share your contact card. Make sure you put your email in it, put what you are, your name, and obviously your picture.
It's almost identical for the Android. And so
Perfect.
when you click on that last picture I sent, when they click on that, on my name, it's got my name, my national producer number, that I'm a life insurance broker. And then you can just tell them scroll down and add to your contacts.
That's great. Very well done. I love that. That's the kind of stuff that makes trainings worth it for everybody involved, is to come in and be able to get some good knowledge that can help you keep your business on the books. The business that pays is the business that stays, right? Okay, good. All right, guys. Very good call. Let's go help some more people. What do you say?
Thanks, Griffin.
You're welcome. Thank you. Let's do the virtual call center.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hey,
Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You too. Thank you. Jeremy, do you want to go to room 1, training coach room 1?